you guys, Jess here from Original Ink by Jess. I work as an office assistant and volleyball coach in Arizona. And in today's video, I have my sister here wanting to share with you guys her experience about buying a house. So Stephanie, introduce yourself to the people.
Hey guys, I'm Stephanie. I'm Jessica's oldest sister. I'm the oldest of the three of us, and I'm excited to be here with you guys today.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So my first question for you, Stephanie, is why did you want to buy a house?
The real reason I wanted to buy a house is because it makes the most sense. Like, you have to have somewhere to live. So if you're going to put money towards something, it might as well be an investment in yourself because, ultimately it's going to be yours one day. So that's really my biggest reason. And plus, we live in Phoenix, and, it makes more sense to buy than it does to rent. At least here it does.
Yeah, rent is expensive.
Girl.
My next question for you is, how did you make the final decision on whether you were going to really buy?
My final decision, it came from doing my research. So like I said, in Phoenix, it is cheaper to buy than it is to rent. So I was going online, I was looking at all the different apartments and the things that I did like. And I was like, well, these are really cute. They have the cute clubhouses or they have a nice gym. But then I was looking at it in comparison to houses, and I was like, okay, every single time rent is coming in way more expensive than buying a house was. So I was like, okay, let's just find a house that I like. And what it really came down to is once I found the house that I did buy, I was like, okay, I'm sold. It has everything that a rental would have, but it's going to be mine one day. So.
And how big is your house?
Like 1,400 square feet, I think. It's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, washer, dryer, a lot of stairs. Yeah, that's my house.
Cool. Alrighty, the next question is, what was the process like?
I would say the process for me, at least, it was really easy. A lot of people get really stressed out when they're looking for a house, but for me, it was pretty simple. So the first thing that I did was I started saving for my house, and my dad is like pretty good about financial advice, so he told me that I needed to check out my credit and that kind of thing. So the first thing I did was pull my credit just so I kind of knew where I was at with everything. And then I just started putting away small amounts of money at a time. Like at the end of my 2 weeks before I got paid, if I had an extra $100 or $200 to spare, I would just put that in my savings account. And then once I really was ready to start looking, it was kind of like a 2-step thing. So I started, I contacted my realtor, and I also contacted a mortgage, what are they called? A mortgage broker. Mm-hmm. My boy Steve. So what that did, my realtor, she gave me access to the MLS, which is basically a list of all the houses that are available in your area, pretty much, so that I can start looking. I was just in my spare time scrolling through my phone, looking at houses, deciding which ones I liked. And then at the same time, I was talking to Steve about my financial situation. He was pulling my credit and telling me, okay, these are some of the things we want to pay off or want to get rid of. And then he was also helping me to okay, this is what you're going to end up needing to save, and this is what you're going to qualify for. So once I found out that I qualified for I think it was a little less than $300,000 is what I qualified for. So now I knew exactly what I should be looking at. I went back to the MLS, and I think I only looked at 3 houses total. The first house, it was ugly. The second house, I really loved it, but it was much further than I was willing to drive, from work to home. So that one was out. And then we actually came to this final house, and they walked us around the model, and I was sold. So once I decided that this was a place that I want, my realtor helped me with getting my earnest money down, and that's basically just, in my case, it was $1,000 to save my spot. It was just like, hey, I want this property, here's $1,000, hold it for me, and start. My house is actually a new build, so that's when they started the process of building for me, and then that was pretty much it. Between me deciding that I wanted the house and then it actually being built, the only other things that happened, I did my earnest deposit, like I said. We signed all the different paperwork, purchase agreement and that kind of stuff. And then I think the building time was about a year. it was about a year to get the house built. So in that time, I was just really careful with my money. I continued to save, and I was really careful not to like put anything new on my credit, because they're looking at that all the time. They want new pay stubs every couple of weeks when it's getting closer to close and all of that. So yeah, it was really just a waiting game as they built the house. And then once it came time to close, it was super simple. During the middle of it, I had switched lenders, so I had to like provide my information a couple of times. But other than that, it was just basically providing those documents that they asked me for, and then we closed on the house. I picked up my keys, and that was it.
Nice. All right, Stephanie, my next question for you is, how were you able to buy your house?
I'm a person, so I'm able to buy it. Well, I was blessed to be able to live at home for quite a while. Shout out to my mom for letting me live rent free. She made me pay a couple bills, but that's okay. So yeah, living with my mom really helped because it allowed me to really save bigger amounts of money, which was important to me. Save the money that you save is really for your down payment and your closing costs. And then of course, I'm coming from living from home to a completely empty house, so I wanted to save a lot so that we can have furniture and stuff to put in our house. But the way that I was able to do it, first, like I said, I was able to save a lot. And then I didn't do anything special. People think that buying is something exclusive, and it's really not. It really is for everyone. I had the option to work with the first time home buyer loan or just like a regular loan. So there's options out there for everybody. If you're worried about not having enough money to put down, that's something, there's lots of programs to help you with that. I looked at all those things, but I ultimately, in my case, I had good credit and I had enough money saved, so I went the more traditional route. If saving isn't your thing, or let's say you have a lot of other expenses, so that's not something that you're able to do, I would say look at your options, because there's a way for everybody to get into a house. Like, everybody needs one, So yeah, I don't know.
All right, Stephanie, did you ever have doubts about buying a house?
Kind of, sort of. I think it was right before we actually found the house that we were moving into. I kind of got a little bit of cold feet because I was like, this house isn't everything that I wanted. I really wanted a house with a backyard, and this house doesn't have it. So a little bit before everything was done, I was like, well, maybe we should move into an apartment until we really find the house that we really want. We were kind of on a time crunch, but not so much. But other than that, I kind of was just like, hey, it makes more sense for me to buy than it does to rent. So it wasn't a real hesitation, but just for a little bit, I was a little about it. But I'm happy that I did.
That's cool. My next question is, would you do anything differently?
Well, the one thing I would do differently is I would take my time. If I would have known back when I first started looking that the housing market was going to blow up like it has, houses in Phoenix specifically, their values are like going up every single day. So I wish I would have taken a little bit more time to really find the house that I really wanted, just so I'm kind of one of those people that I like to have new things all the time, or I like to have them exactly the way that I want them to. So if I would do it all over again, I would take a little bit more time to really find the house that I wanted. But I'm super happy with the house that I got. When I'm ready to sell, I know it's going to fly off the market, but it's a little hard to find a house right now. So, but you can't always see. Hindsight's 20/20. Can't see into the future either, so it's okay.
My next question is, what advice would you give someone interested in buying?
My advice to all you people out there that want to buy a house, do it. Like, just do it. If you are living on your own, or if you pay rent, if you pay to help your mom, whatever, if you're paying to live, buy a house. Be a little bit smarter about your money. Start to save. Pull a free credit report so you know exactly where you're at financially. And it doesn't hurt to ask. all realtors get paid on commission. They're there to help you. So ask those questions up front, and they'll be happy to earn your business. Don't think that you don't make enough, or don't think that you don't have good enough credit, because there's some type of options out there for everybody. And then secondly, what was I gonna say?
I don't know.
What was I just telling you? Secondly, so not only is it a smart financial decision, but it's not permanent. People think you buy a house and you're stuck in it for 30 years, but that's not the case at all. I've lived in this house for 2 years, and I'm ready to sell any day now. Like, once I find something, or once I start looking for something new, I'm out of here. And you got to take advantage of the world that we live in right now. There's so many options with selling, renting, Airbnb. Like, you don't think that you're stuck just because you purchased a house. There's many exit strategies for if you decide it's not something that you want anymore, or when you're ready to upgrade. So don't feel stuck. My sister's situation, when she's ready, she's gonna do it. So you guys should do it too.
This is also why I'm making this video, because I'm one of those people that are iffy about buying a house. I know I should do it, but I'm still iffy. But that's why I wanted her to share her story, to help everybody else, because she's definitely helping me. And what I also wanted to add, when she moved in here, her original neighbors are no longer her original neighbors. So, like, everything here in Arizona is like flying off the shelves. So like how she said, you're not going to be stuck because somebody wants to buy it. Like, people from California and Oregon are all moving here, buying up all the houses. So that's why the housing market is so difficult now. But
and even if you don't live in a place like Phoenix, you just got to be a little bit creative. Let's say you live in, I don't know, Salem, Oregon. Like, turn your house into a haunted house or something like that until you're ready to sell. Like, there's options. Don't feel like you're stuck in a house, because just as much as you're stuck in a house, she's stuck in a lease. She can't leave until her lease is over. I mean, if you're already putting money out there to live, you could be putting money out there to live and invest in your own place. So do it.
all right, Stephanie, what's your favorite thing about owning your house?
My favorite thing about owning a house is knowing that my money is making me money. I bought this house for we bought this house for $185,000, and I just checked the property value on it not too long ago, and I think we're around $280, something like that.
What?
I didn't do anything. All I had to do was live here. All we had to do was live here. My best friend and I, we split our mortgage half and half, and hey, when we're ready to sell this place, when I tell you we're coming out to a check. So, yeah, my money's making me money, and all I had to do was live here. That's my favorite thing about it.
Pretty cool. All right, and the last thing, final thoughts. What are your final thoughts to tell the people of the internet?
Well, guys, everybody hop in the comments and tell my sister to buy a house. And then after you're giving her that advice, take your own advice and go out there, look, find your house. It doesn't have to be your dream house. There's so much stuff on YouTube. You can DIY walls and flooring and whatever you want, like, to make it your own. No house is absolutely perfect unless you're building it on your own, but find something that you like and make it your own. Like, time is money. Let's get out there, people. Let's make these financial decisions. It's in your best interest. And if you have questions, ask somebody. Don't be afraid to ask, and really don't be afraid to ask a professional. Like I said, realtors or even mortgage brokers, they're a lot of times paid on commission, so they're there to earn your business. So go out there, ask those questions, find out where you're at before you're jumping into anything. But let those professionals tell you what's going on. Like, that's what they're for. So, but do it.
All right, you guys, that's it for this video. Thank you, Stephanie, for sharing your wisdom and your experience. I hope you guys found this very helpful, and always remember, be you, stay true, be original Inc. See you guys in the next video.